Hi guys, Mike here at tabletbyte.com, and we're finally here with our video review for the Asus Transformer Prime. This is going to be only the first part. There will be some extra episodes of this review that will speak about hardware performances. In this first part, we're only going to speak about the exterior. And we have the tablet right here. You know that when compared to the previous generation tablet, there's a lot of difference on this one. This one is lighter, it's slimmer, and definitely looks a lot more solid. While the previous generation had glass and plastic and metal, this one only has metal on the back and glass on this front screen. So it definitely looks very nice. It's slimmer than most of the other tablets available right now, only 0.33 inches in thickness, and weighs just under 1.3 pounds and just under 600 grams. That means for us in Europe here, which is definitely very nice. Of course, on the front face you still have the 10-inch display covered in glass, Gorilla Glass on top, so it will be quite strong and resistive. And Asus also put together some kind of special coating that should help clean easier smudges and fingerprints. They also included a wrap in the box, which is something like this that you can use to clean the device. It's a microfiber wrap here, and it's actually going to be quite handy when using the device. The screen, like I said, 10.1 inch, 1280 by 800 pixel resolution, but we'll speak about it a bit later. You also have on the front face this front-facing camera, 1.2 megapixels for video calls, and you have a light sensor as well. Down here towards the bottom, not really sure if you can see it, but there is this very small arrow that indicates you the place for you to connect this one with the docking station. You also have the Asus logo here. On the back, what we have here is the darker version. There are two versions of this device. One, it's called I'm not really sure how that one is called, but that one has a yellowish silver back. This one has a purplish darker silver back. You can see it here with this circular pattern in here. Concentrical circles. Okay, I got it. On the back, so this is pretty much similar to what you have on the Ultrabooks right now. Of course, there's metal on the edges as well. You have the Asus logo, and you have here an 8 megapixel camera with flash, which is quite nice. One thing to add, this one does catch smudges, and you can see it that even though I've cleaned this one just before starting to shoot this clip, there are already smudges in here, and they're visible. And I believe that on the lighter version, the one in lighter silver, those won't be as visible. So if I were you, I'll probably buy that version. But this one looks very nice as well. Okay. Now let's go ahead and have a quick look on the sides and see what you get here. Okay, you have, these are the latches that allows you to attach this one to a docking station, and the proprietary docking connection also used for charging and connecting the device to a computer. So these are all here on the bottom. On this side you have a microphone, and you have a micro SD card reader. Supports up to 32 gigabyte micro SD cards in here. Micro HDMI adapter you can use to output content as long as you have a micro HDMI cable. There is no adapter included, so you don't have a micro HDMI to HDMI adapter included. You have to buy that separately. And this is the volume rocker. And the button, you can see that they've changed the design for the button. It's actually a lot more solid now, and it looks very nice. Power button, they've moved it here on top, and there is another microphone here. On this other side you have the, okay, sorry for that, on this other side you have the the headphone jack, And next to it there is the speaker, and they've really copied the iPad here because they put the speaker down here in the corner, and they no longer have two speakers. However, it's a bit bigger than before, than the speaker before, or at least that's how it sounds, and it's behind this grill here, so only a mono speaker. Volume is good, quality is okayish, and the biggest problem I have with this is you're usually going to hold a tablet like this, you know, like this. And if you're going to hold it like this, you're going to cover the speaker when doing it. So what can you do here? You can either hold the camera, the tablet upside down like this, and this way the speaker remains here and it's going to be okay, or just be careful not to cover this too closely, because it will interfere with the sound quality. And also, if you're using this device and sound is turned all the way up, you're going to feel small vibrations here on the speaker if you're going to cover it closely. Okay, those were pretty much all the things I wanted to show you about the exterior. Now let's also go ahead and have a quick look at our docking station. The docking unit is right here. You can see that Asus made it slimmer as well. I've already have a review for the docking unit, so I'm not going to focus that much on it. It's slimmer than before. It's made from metal as well, and comes with this linear texture on the back, so it's like on the Ultrabooks. Rubber feet here on the back, so you can properly have it on the desk. And of course, the connecting this hinge for connecting the tablet. And actually they've made connecting the tablet a lot easier than before. I'll tell you about it later. What you also have on this, but first let's see the ports. You have here the docking connector. It's the same proprietary Asus docking connection. A battery indicator here next to it, and nothing else. On the previous generation you actually had right here, you had another USB port, so there was a USB port. Now, because they've slimmed it down, there's no longer place for it. Nothing on the back, very slim edges here. On this other side you have the SD card reader, and it supports SDXC cards, which right now run to up to 256 GB. They're going to be quite expensive though for that big ones, but 74 GB SD card, it's like $100, maybe cheaper, and you can easily extend the storage on your tablet like this. And there's also the USB, so the only USB is over here. It works with the mouse, it works with external hard drive and flash memory sticks. I've showed you that in the video review for the docking. Okay, and over here you also have the keyboard and the trackpad. The keyboard is actually quite nice. It's a little bit softer than the keyboard on the previous generation. There's no flex, just a little bit of flex, and feels overall quite nice. Of course, it's smaller, it's not a full-size keyboard, it's like a keyboard from your netbook, and it comes with all these controls for Android. You got home, you got search, you got all these special commands for launching a browser, controlling the video player, stuff like this. You only have one Alt key over here, so if you want to use it to switch between apps, and you have Alt Tab for that, but you only have the Alt key here on the right. Okay, the trackpad, of course, it's changed as well. It's not very big, but it occupies pretty much all the space that they have here. It's quite okay, it's comfortable, it's decently accurate. Click buttons, the physical button was replaced with this click buttons that are now integrated in the trackpad, so there's a wider area for it right now, and they're fairly easy to press and usable. Still, I'd use a mouse. If I were you, I'd use a mouse. What I don't like on this trackpad is the fact that it's also made from metal, and it's the same texture as here on the palm rest. So it's a bit rougher. It's not smooth like like this new glass trackpads are these days. So the ones you find on Ultrabooks on the modern laptops. It's a little bit rougher, and that can be a little bit frustrating, at least till you're going to get used to it. Now let's go ahead and show you how you can put this one in. They've reworked the system, so it's easier now to connect the tablet. There are two arrows here. You have to align them. One is on the tablet, one is on the device, on the docking station. And once you did, just have to press it like this, and it will go in place. Have to press it properly because till this latch goes all the way to the right. So it's actually very easy to do this. Once the connector is on, you get access to the mouse. Of course, you can easily cut the trackpad if you don't want it. When typing, if you don't want to accidentally press the trackpad, there is a function. It's a button over here, and you can see that right now the trackpad is gone, but you can put it back. You can use the trackpad to surf between apps, to navigate around here, go to menus. You can see that everything moves quite smoothly because we have Tegra in there, and that actually helps. Okay, so that was pretty much all the things I wanted to show you about this docking unit. Let me show you how easy it is to get it out of the docking unit right now. And if you have a previous transformer, you're going to know what I mean about it. And it's just like this. So it wasn't at all uncomfortable. It was quite easy to do. Okay, so in the last part of this first episode of our video review that speaks about the exterior, I'm going to show you a very short comparison between the Asus Transformer Prime, and the first generation Asus Transformer. And I have that one over here, and probably all familiar with it already, with the plastic texture back and the screen, the metal hinges. Okay, so let's go ahead and compare this. In terms of buttons and connectors, they're pretty much the same. They all had HDMI ports, but this one, the older generation, had a mini HDMI. This one has a micro HDMI. Okay, they neither had USB, both have micro SD card readers, and physical buttons for volume and for powering on the device. Putting it on top of the other, like this. Okay, sorry for that. You're going to notice that this one is just a tiny bit wider, the Transformer Prime, but it's also a tiny bit shorter as well. However, the main difference is here when comparing the width difference. Let me see if I can get this to in parallel like this. So this one is a lot thinner than the previous generation, and it's also lighter. This one was like 1.5, if I'm not mistaken, pounds. This is 1.3, so that's 50% lighter. You're going to feel this when carrying it around. Of course, the most changes are inside. This one comes with a newer Tegra 3 platform. There's a new screen in there, while this one only had Tegra 2 on board. And this is also why the Transformer Prime is a bit more expensive than the previous generation. Personally, I own this one, but I'm going to sell it because I really like the Transformer Prime right now. But let's just not spoil it. More details, comparison between these two, and comparison between these two attached to the docking station, there you will find in the dedicated clip here on our site that speaks about these two. So there's a comparison on the site and on this YouTube channel between the Transformer Prime and the Transformer first generation. Okay, that was it for this first part of our video review. Please see the next part that's going to talk about the screen and going to tell you a couple of things about performances and software.